All right, so this is the Gilarc app. So basically, you go on the website, you log in, and you download the tool first, and then you can add our discount code to save on money later. But at first, you can just download the app and start setting it up. So it works exactly like anti-detect browsers. You have a tool, you have multiple profiles that you create, and you click on start. Except since it's phones and also the billing is quite different. I'm just going to explain this because it can be very confusing. So when you decide to take a subscription, you have multiple options. Okay, let's, for example, so you have like the base plan and the pro plan, which each one has its own options. But they say profiles, yeah. When you take the base plan, it allows you, basically the plan is how many profiles you're allowed to create. It doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you the, let's say, that doesn't mean you can use them right away because you have to buy two things. One is how many profiles you want to run, let's say 5 if you try. They will give you 60 minutes to use them across all profiles, which isn't much. So you need to add additional time with that on top of the minute, because 60 minutes for 5 profiles, you don't have time to do much. The other option you have is when you have a rental phone. In that case, for 1 month, you can use it for an unlimited amount of time. So when you're starting, when you're not really sure how to use it, that's what I suggest doing. Just take like the minimum base profile and 1 monthly rental phone. So at least you can play around with it and discover it. Parallel is another way I'm not going to go into now because for the way we're using Instagram for natural behavior, this plan isn't really useful and it's quite expensive. It's really for when you're running, I don't know, like streams for hours on end. That's interesting, but that's not what we do. So that's the plan. Take like the base plan, monthly rental, 1 month, and start with that. That would be the simplest way for you to get started. Now, if you scale and you want more profiles, you know exactly what you're doing, etc. Yeah, in that case, take the higher range, 20, 50, like 50, like we're doing, can go either for more. And then you'll add different options, different time. But the minutes that you use for most profiles have to be bought separately, except if you take a monthly rental. In that case, it's like $30. It's going to be about $25 with our code, but that's the idea. And then once you selected your profiles, so in our case, for you to start, like I suggest, just take the minimum one profile per month, 1 monthly rental. It's going to be $30 with the discount, about something like that. Then you go to new profile, and this is when you start to set it up. So you select if you want a phone that you're paying by minute or the monthly rental. If you took a monthly rental, obviously you're going to take that one to start, and the next ones will be pay per minute. Obviously here, name it as you want. For now, we only have an Android operating system. They say they will release iOS. That would be good. Tag it, etc. These are just details. You're gonna need to add your own proxy. So you select one of yours so that to be saved, or you add it here to you. But you need a proxy per phone. Depending on your setup, you want to have a mobile proxy or a Wi-Fi proxy. Depends on your setup. Both can be good depending how you use it. But in your case, if you will add many cloned apps on the one single phone, definitely you need to take mobile proxy. But if you take other phones that you pay per minute and all of them will only have one account, it can have its own cheap Wi-Fi proxy. That's okay. But if you're using multiple accounts on the same phone, you have to use mobile proxy, mandatory. Okay, so depending on the type of proxy you select here. Phone number, it will be auto-generated based on the location you want. Here, you can either leave it based on the IP that you're going to add, or you can select the actual country where it's going to be. It's up to you. But it's really, if you're using a proxy, you just leave it based on IP, for example, when that's okay. Now, for device brand and device model, definitely take a regular one and a recent one, most importantly. For example, let's say Samsung, more recent, let's say S23, that would be recent, or Google Pixel 7 or 7 Pro, doesn't matter, but a recent phone, it's better for the overall trust score, etc. Device name auto-generated, etc. Cloud phone language, to make sure you can put English or whatever you need based on the IP. Then again, if you have a correct proxy, everything should fit. But just for the device brand. Now, second thing for the device brand, because you likely, especially when you scale, definitely take the same device brand for all the phones, because when you use the synchronizer, as I will show in another video, it's important that the layout of the phone is the same, because one action will be replicated on all the other phones. So that's the thing. Take a recent Google Pixel 7 Pro, very good. If you have it out, just take this one for all your phones, and that's it. So this we're doing single, but you can do it in not in actually in quick. I found it just easier. Pretty much the entire same system. Just make sure you configure the proxies in the correct way. You have multiple ones, or you select one, and then here you select how many profiles you want to create with the same settings. You can select everything like before, but it will be applied to the same settings for all of them. And yeah, in a nutshell, that's how you get started with Gilarc. All right, so here we're gonna see how to use the synchronizer, but first let's make sure the apps we want to be installed there are actually properly set up. In this case, we just want to work on Instagram. So it's here, applications. If you want to add more apps, you either upload the APK or you go to basically the app store that they have natively, or one of the clones I created. I mean, I have to delete these, but yeah, that's the idea. All right, so in this case, we just need Instagram. Let's disable it for now. Okay, good. Now you go to Synchronizer, you add the phones you need. Okay, let me remove this. This is in the way. Oh, come on. All right. Okay, add the phones you need. Here, 10. Okay, I need these 10 phones. Okay, so remember, because the plan includes phone that you pay by the minute, so you want to save as much time on this and not like spend too much time, using phones that are not working. So the good thing is, so the synchronizer, how it works, what you do here on the main window, on this one, will be reproduced on all the other phones. That's basically the idea. So any click you do here will be done on all the others. Once you click here, start sync. And so that's why it's important to set up all the phones in the main Android version, but also the same phone model. If you have a Samsung S20, Pixel 7, whatever, Oppo 80, it's gonna be a mess. Because, for example, some phones have the return function, this one. When you click here, they have it on the right side and vice versa, etc. So you want to equalize everything. So now we have to wait a little bit for Instagram to get installed on these phones, because that's what we're gonna need. Okay, good. Is it there? Yeah. And remember, as soon as the phone is online, you're getting billed. So make sure you work in a very efficient way. Okay, so let's double check this one. If Instagram is set up, okay, I think it's good. I think it's good on all of them. Okay. Okay, good. So actually, let me start the sync and we're just gonna do the rest on everything. Okay. Now, if I click on the, okay, let me scroll down. On this should work on all the others. Exactly. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. But remember, when you scroll down with the mouse like I'm doing now, it's gonna ask as if you're scrolling down on the things. It's a bit confusing. Let me change a bit the output, how it looks. Yeah, actually, it's not gonna be good like that. We don't. Yes. Okay. What I mean is that if you want to move around the phone, make sure you do, use the scroll bar here. If you do the scrolling mouse like I just did, it's just gonna basically as if you're pulling the top of the screen down or up. That's what I mean. Okay. Now let's start again. So now the operations that we're gonna see, we will log in to new Instagram accounts. So in that case, my phone screen, I should pick a slightly bigger one, but that's okay. Let's pull it up. Okay. Yeah, shit, it seems it failed on some of the phones. Okay, let's try again. Okay, let's check that everybody's following. Okay, good. Okay, are we on the main one? Yeah. Okay, Instagram. Okay, good. Let's check that. One of them are fine. One of them is a little bit different in the approach. That's interesting. Okay, maybe if I click on, I already have an account, that should be. Okay, great. Yeah, when you click on the others, not on the main one, it's just an individual action. It's only the main one, this one, main window as written, where everything is copied. So in this case, because we obviously are gonna input different text, what you have to do here is, so first click on the section you need, okay? And then click on bulk inputs. And then click here on different text, and then you type the different ones according to what you need. Let me do the first so I'll show you, and then I will pause. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and then the next username, etc., etc. Okay, I'll pause and I'll resume when I'm done. All right, so now that I inputted all the different text for the same action, now I'm gonna click on input, and it's gonna fill all. Just double check that everything was filled correctly. Yes. Okay. No space, no whatever. Now start again, but with the password this time. Okay. Double check that everything was set up, was selected correctly. You see there's one straggler there. Okay. So this one is, yeah, it seems like this one is a bit slow to keep up or whatever. Okay. Let's double check everything is selected on the right space. Okay, again, bulk inputs, different text, and start typing the passwords. Okay, I'm pausing and we'll resume. Okay, so I just click on input after typing all the passwords, just double checking that they've all been added here. Okay, good. So here, now I'm gonna go at the main phone and click on login. Okay, is everybody logging in? Okay, one straggler still. That one always has a bit of a hard time. That's okay. Just click manually on the one that is missing. Okay, let it load. Yeah, still the usual suspect. Phone number 4 has a hard time finding. Okay, so in this case, go to your authentication app and type a code. So because this is a 2FA, basically a 2FA code that you're gonna add in each one. You can, technically, you could type bulk input and type them directly, but since the code is time sensitive, you unlikely you won't have enough time to actually go through. So what I suggest is really that's the exception when you actually have to do it one by one, as usual. So that would be 2FA here. You type whatever. Okay. Okay, so let me, actually in this case I have to, because I will start with the first one, but I don't want them to sync because the code will be different for each one and time sensitive. So nsync, yeah, don't forget that. And then you can start managing the code. Okay, let's go for the first one. Just showing you to make sure there's no, so this website, you just type your 2FA key here, click on authentication code, you can copy here directly. You go to basically to the phone here and you type it, continue. Okay, great. Actually, in this case, you can leave it here. I will save, once I added all the codes, I will click on save and it will save on all the phones. Keep in mind that you're paying for every second that the phone is on, so try to maximize the value, the time value. So again, I'm gonna do the authentication code on everything else. We'll pause and we'll resume once it's done. All right, and now I added the 2FA code on each account, so that's good. So we start the syncing again, and we click on save. Okay, see. So let's say hello, for example. Let's see, everything works, seems okay. Okay, for now, and something else you have to do here is maybe browse around. Okay, see that the account is lively. Okay. Actually, even phone 4, like resume. Okay, so that's basically how you use the synchronizer in this specific case, how to use it with to log in on multiple phones at once.
So, welcome to this module where we are going to talk about account creation, how to actually create your FanView account for your AI model, and we'll get straight into it. You only need one verified FanView account to launch your AI model, okay? Then you won't have to verify your identity again, okay? So first, you can just go to the FanView sign up address, okay? And the best thing you can do is to actually use my affiliate links and use my code, and it will be in the description. Meaning that when you do your first $1,000, you will have $100 bonus, okay? Which is very nice when you're just starting, okay? So you just use this link and then you are going to sign up with a new email. Don't use Google or Facebook sign up. This you do not want to do because you can struggle to connect, or if you want to give access to someone else, it will be complicated. So just use an email and a password, okay? You click the sign up button at the bottom, okay? Now, you are going, once you have created your email and password, okay, you can just click on become a creator, okay? It's that simple. It will ask you to upload your ID and selfie verification most likely, but most of the time it's just the ID, okay? And then you just wait 24 to 48 hours, but most of the time it's done instantly or in a few hours, okay? And then boom, it's done. It's that simple. You're ready to use your AI model account. So it's just a normal account and you create your account as an AI model, okay? And then it's easy when you want to create a new account. You can just basically message the support and you will be able to have another account that is created for your model. Remember that there is requirement. You first need to have done at least like $30 on your first account, okay? Even though if you have an account it's not working with a model, you can just like basically erase everything on the profile and rebrand it to another model. You don't need another account. They do this so that you don't actually have like 10 different FanView accounts that are not making money and that are basically useless, okay? So that's about it for the login feature. It's very simple. You don't need to overcomplicate this. Just create your account. Takes 5 minutes. Use a Gmail address. If you don't have a Gmail address, create a Gmail address, and boom, it's done. You don't have anything else to worry about. Alright, so welcome for the more strategy aspect of the FanView page management, how a good FanView page will look like. Okay, you're going to obviously set up the username, the profile picture, and the banner. Username is here, profile, and the banner that you can see here. Okay, as the profile picture, you want to use, if possible, a seductive face. As you can see here, we see her face. You want to have a chest or a close-up maybe at the top, okay, or the model lying down like horizontally, which is very nice, okay. Then natural lighting, it's very good. You need to really have high quality for this picture. It's very important, okay, and avoid over edited or fake photo style. It's very bad. You really need to have a good picture as profile picture and as the banner, okay. Username, you're going to use the exact same that you were using on Instagram, such as it needs to be short and if possible with name and surname, okay. Avoid numbers, it looks kind of fake and bad, okay. Underscore, etc. Or like too long name, try to avoid that, okay. Some good example: Miss Layla, Naughty Gianna, Real Sofia. All of these are pretty good, okay. You need to understand that your FanView profile is the first thing that people are going to see, okay, and it has to be on point, obviously, okay. And if possible, choose a username that is easily remember. Remember it, it must be easy to remember. You have to ask yourself, okay, if I was with a friend and I saw this girl, I could say, hey, this girl, I don't know, Alice, Malice, for example, she do this. It's a name that you can remember easily, okay. Um, that's very important. And for the banner, as I said before, anything works, even though if you can show like her breast or her lying down horizontally or different cards, okay, of your model with different poses, works very well as well. Okay, the bio, please keep it short. Okay, 2 to 4 lines max. The only thing you want from people on your profile is to click on the subscribe or at least follow and to message you. That's the only thing you want. You don't want to redirect them to another platform at all. You don't want them to read for too long. You just want them to click subscribe and message you. Okay, you can add a bit of like your own the branding of your model, like her job or what she likes, etc. But keep it short. Make like remember that the goal is for them to message and subscribe. Okay, that's very important. And do not spend too much time on the profile. Okay, yes, it's important. But when you're just starting, like maybe 30 minutes, you can spend 30 minutes on it and have something pretty good. Maybe 1 hour, but not too much, okay? And obviously, you will need to post a wall post, or you can call it like feed posts, so that it looks like a real account. Because if you're a subscriber, you arrive on an account and you subscribe, you at least want to see some content on the model, all right? In terms of like subscription, etc., $3.99 is the minimum on FanView, but you can tick to basically enable people to either like follow you for free, and then you can enable the feature for the followers to be able to message you, which is the equivalent of basically a free subscription. Okay, but you can also do a 1 week free trial for the subscription, and that's all that you want to go for. Free followers and free trial subscription, because it's very hard to get subscriber, and trust me, even a free sub, you want to have the chance to maybe sell them something. So welcome to the chatting module. This one is going to be very important because this is where the money is made. Okay, chatting is the heart of the business. Okay, that's the money making machine. Okay, so as you can see, basically chatting is what makes the money. There is only like on average 10% that come from the commission, sometimes even less. Okay, and 90% of your income will come from chatting. And when I say that it comes from chatting, it actually comes from the pay-per-view images and video that we sell through the messages. Okay, so content get attention and chatting gets the money. Okay, content is for social media, it's for the social proof on the feed, okay, of the FanView account, but chatting is really what is going to generate the money. Okay, so basically you're baiting your subscriber online, bringing them to your FanView account, and you're going to sell the content via direct message. Okay, and you can make way more money than if you try to sell from the feed or just make money from subscription. Okay, obviously you will need to do a feed post as well for the social proof, but if you do not do chatting and you do not sell with pay-per-view content, okay, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Okay, most agency owner treat chatting like a secondary aspect of the business, or like it's overlooked. Okay, when it's quite the contrary. Yes, you need traffic, okay, but the amount of money you are going to make, okay, is directly linked to how much you can sell per subscriber on the account. Okay, so if you have shit chatting, you are going to do shit results and not make a lot of money. Okay, so do not treat chatting as a secondary aspect, otherwise it's going to be a very big mistake for you. Okay, and there is a difference between talking to fan and actually converting fan. Okay, when you chat to a fan, there is some relationship building, etc. And there is the sale. So there is a moment to just chat, and there is a moment to sell, and all of that happen in the chat, and I'm going to talk about that in the chatting modules that are coming. Okay, there is a whole skill set to learn. You have a lot to learn to really master the chatting. Okay, it's not just randomly chatting with people, and even if you hire chatters later on, it's not just doing that. You need to know how to do it, and you need to train them. Okay, so we are going to teach you how to tease, upsell, and directly sell in DM. Okay, use a price ladder. Basically, we'll give you a pricing chart and exactly how to price your content, how to use voice message to sell as well, and then how to hire your chatter to delegate the chatting. Okay, if you master chatting, you can make 5 to 10k per month, okay, easily. If you do not know how to do chatting, you're never going to scale, okay? And let's be honest, most creator and agency owner, they spend like 90% of your time of their time like creating content and doing marketing, but they spend very little time trying to have the best chatting, okay, as possible, which is a real problem since 90% of the money comes from the chatting. Okay, that's important. You need to remember that the money is made from chatting. Okay, but I think I've been like pretty clear about all of this. Okay, you will learn how to handle all types of fan because you will see that there is very different types of fan. Okay, turn completely normal subscriber that are basically time waster, not really interested, into really paid subscriber, like fans that are actually going to spend on your model. Okay, and obviously later on I will teach you how to hire and delegate the work, but first you need to know how to do it yourself. Otherwise, obviously, you wouldn't know how to actually train them. All right? So, we are going to talk about the salesman mindset, which is very important, which is basically the chatter mindset. Okay? Um, I'm going to try to explain you as best as I can, okay, what is the best mindset to have and how it will change the way you handle conversation and how it's going to make you earn more money, okay? So a bad chatter mindset is like replying like haha or thanks babe, you know, like random replies, okay? When obviously we do not want to answer that. We have a clear goal when we talk in a conversation, okay? A chatter that just answer question with like no clear plan is not good at all, okay? That's very important, okay? And hoping that the fan will magically like spend money is just not going to happen, okay? The good salesman mindset will be a salesman that will basically qualify the fan with question like what turns you on the most, for example, tease, you're making me think dirty right now, etc. I'm thinking about you, etc., etc. And that leads the conversation with attention. This is very important, okay? I see too many students, they go try to answer the chats and they are completely lost. They don't know what to say. And even chatters that have experience, okay? Remember, you're not just chatting like aimlessly, okay? You're trying to sell the girlfriend experience. And why do you sell the girlfriend experience? Because this is what most of the guys they are looking for. They don't have a girlfriend and they want to feel like they are talking with their girlfriend and exchanging pictures, etc., etc. Okay? um, you're not here to like just like make friends, etc. You're here to convert the fans into actual paying subscriber, okay? So that subscriber that actually spend for your content, okay? And trust me, if you chat aimlessly, like with no goal, with no strategy, with no blueprint, no nothing, okay, no plan, they are not going to spend, okay? It requires real strategy and a real good mindset to be able to sell, okay? So your job is to control the flow of the conversation, okay? Every fan is a potential buyer, okay? Yes, we are going to talk a lot about time wasters, which are fans that doesn't buy and that waste your time, but they can always spend something, okay? Remember that, okay? Um, think like a digital stripper, okay? the real girl like stripper in clubs, okay, in order to get money, they need to tease and get the guys horny. That's the first thing. And the second thing, the guys need to have a good experience. Okay, otherwise they're not going to spend if they don't like it. Okay, you have to see the chatting kind of like this. Okay, um, you must constantly ask yourself, um, where am I trying to take him with this message? Okay, remember, you're not trying to aimlessly just answer his message and you don't know where the conversation is going, especially when you have like 15 conversations at the same time. You don't want to waste your time. Okay, you can either be building relationship with the fan, so learning about, his job, what he likes about you, making jokes, talking about movies, whatever, okay? Or you can be teasing him in order to sell him content, okay? Or you can be actually selling him content, okay? And there is no really other like ways or stuff that you can talk about, okay, or that you can do. So remember, every time you are chatting with a fan, you need to know where you are, okay, in the conversation and where you are going, okay? So to summarize all of that, if you're replying just like a friend and like aimlessly, you're not going to make money, okay? If you're just being nice, you're just not going to make money. You're going to still make some money, but it's really not how it works, okay? You are here to create an illusion, okay? The illusion that the fan is really chatting with the AI model, okay? And most of the time, the fans want to have the girlfriend experience. Once again, why? Because they don't have a girlfriend and they want to experience that, okay? They want to have a good experience. So they want this, we give them this, okay? Always ask yourself, okay, when you're in a conversation, okay, what is this guy into? What does he want? Why he's there? What his like life situation? What does he want right now? What he's doing right now, etc. So that you know what like the person that you have in front of you, okay, and it will be way easier to sell knowing that, okay. And remember, it's not about always pushing like the most expensive content as soon as the customer, like the sub, feel like he's horny, okay. No, we are going to create the needs, okay, tease him, and once he's teased, then we can start sending content, okay, not before. And we want to send like cheap, okay, content like 15 bucks, 19 bucks, not too much, okay, at first. Otherwise you're just going to burn him out and scare him away, okay. And if you send the content for 100 bucks and then it's too expensive, and you will negotiate down to like 19 bucks, then you completely devaluate your content, okay. But we are going to talk about this in the next module, okay. So remember, you set the girlfriend experience and you control where the conversation is going. You're not just chatting aimlessly, you are here with a clear goal, all right. Alright, so in this module, I'm going to show you a real life upsell example, okay, so that you get a bit more information and you understand it a bit more, okay. So here's a conversation. There is a fan that say, I want something a bit more private, okay. The model say, hey, I was just about to hop in the shower, okay, and the fan say, obviously, can I see it, okay. So the next step is to actually give him the first content, okay. The teasing content, which is free. And as you can see here, we have a clear goal with the conversation while making it like natural and like portraying the model, okay. This is step one. Then step two, teasing like topless, $19, then $39, then $99, okay. We use a price ladder, okay, so that the fan doesn't really feel that he's spending a lot. And we start with free content and increase bit by bit the more like the hotter the content is, okay. This is very important. That's the first step, and then you can upsell content. Okay, so each part of the script, okay, the scripted content that we created, must feel like a natural evolution of the chat. This is very important. You don't want to like force selling stuff and that it feels like it's forced. You don't know. You want a natural conversation. Do not sell the content. Sell more the experience. Okay, the exclusivity of the moment. That's very important. Okay, you just don't want just sell sex like this. It's not really good. Okay, you want to like ask the guy for picture, like send some voice, etc. So that he really feel like he's talking to a model and having a good experience. So that's very important. Make sure that the fan is teased. Okay, you can, is just what I said, show me how horny you are. You can say like if you're nice enough, I'll do this, I'll do that, etc. Or that depends on how naughty you are. All this type of stuff you can say, and you need to make sure that the fan is teased before you send any content. Okay, learn to spot signals. Okay, when the fan starts asking for more like personal or sexual question, etc., this is your opening. Okay, if you feel like the fan is a bit hot, always make sure to tease him. Okay, it doesn't hurt to tease with the free content just to make sure. Okay, match the upsell with the fan with what the fan is saying. Okay, if the fan is flirty, which is the example that we just said, you think like he's kind of being a bit horny, a bit hot, but not too much. Okay, you're just going to tease him with the free content. Okay, if he's already really horny from your content on, I don't know, IG, straight, Twitter, like whatever, okay, and straight up tell you that he's horny and he wants to see more, then boom, you can just start the script, start with low priced content, and then you're going to be able to upsell very easily. Okay, if there is a fan that wants specific content, there is some fan that want that. You arrive on your account and say, hey, show me like a dildo video or whatever. Okay, boom. You forget about the script, you forget about the relationship building, and you just give him the content. Most likely with a big price, since he's like in a kind of in a rush to buy something. Okay. Use momentum once a fan bought once. This is the best time to try to sell another content. I see way too many students that try to, they sell one content, they're happy, and they kind of stop here. Okay, no, you can sell one time, sell again like 1 minute later, sell again like 5 minutes later. That's what you need to do in order to make a lot of money per subscriber. Okay, and don't forget to send follow-up as well after you send a PPV. Okay, make him feel like it's recorded live. Okay, if you like that, wait until you see what I just recorded for you. This is an example we just to show you, but you are not going to say exactly that. But it's important that the fan feels like it's recorded for him. Okay, so upselling script and selling content over and over again doesn't mean you are going to spam PPV, like spam sending content. Okay, it's quite the contrary. Okay, it's about building relationship with your subs, know what they like, etc., etc. Then you're going to tease them. Okay, and only if they are teased and they want the content, then you give them the paid content, basically the PPVs. Okay, think of chatting like sexting. You don't start by asking for money, or even worse, begging for subs to tips or unlock your content. Okay, it's when you send a content locked, okay, a PPV, it's only if the fan kind of already want it. Okay, and the strategy is to build relationship, tease, sell, repeat. It's always the same stuff over and over, and you do not need to overcomplicate that. Unless it's really a whale, then in this case you can chat for a long time, so lots of relationship building and then sell. Okay, that's the game. Don't throw random prices and hope for the best. This is this is the worst strategy. Okay, and you need to create a situation when the fan wants to pay to continue their experience. Your fan needs to really like what you are doing, what you are like giving him. Okay, So the more you practice this, obviously, the more natural it will get, okay, and the more money you'll make, obviously, without burning your subs, because it's hard to bring subscriber to an account. Then you obviously want to make them spend as much money each subscriber, okay. So in this module, I'm going to teach you exactly how to upsell without looking too pushy, okay, in the messages. So first thing, upselling isn't about forcing multiple sales, okay? If a client is going to buy multiple content, it's because he feels like he's going to get a very good value from it, okay? And you want that so that then he come back and buy again, okay? So the more subtle and playful you are, the higher the conversion. Okay, so conversation must feel like authentic, and the fans must just have a good time. Okay, it's that simple. Use hooks like, do you really want to see what I was thinking about earlier, or I have something just for you if you're nice enough. It's just basic hooks to get their attention. Okay. I'm going to read for you the pushy conversation. Hey babe, unlock this now. I also have a video for 150 if you're into that. All of that is way too pushy, and it can seem like very bad, but I've seen that on account that I audited, okay? So do not do that, okay? It's really bad. The just buy, or like the why you don't unlock my content, all this type of stuff. I really do not want to see any of that, okay? A good conversation. Hey, how is your evening? Just got home and saw your message here. Then the model, I was thinking about you. Subscriber, oh really? Yeah, I could. And the model, yeah, I could show you what I had in mind, etc. Very easy, very nice and natural conversation. Okay, let the fan feels like he's the one is initiating the purchase. Okay, you need that, you want that the fan wants the content, and that at the moment where you give him the content, he's already decided to buy it. Okay. um, Always link the upsell, okay, the content, to a word that he said before, okay, so that it doesn't seem spammy or like not natural, okay. If he say I want to see more, you say okay, I'm going to show you, let me take a picture, or etc. Okay, important. You need to have a good timing, okay, never rush the sale, like upsell in the first like 3-5 message of talking with a guy, otherwise it seems just way too obvious that you are trying to sell him, okay. After teasing, you can pause a bit, chat again for 2-3 sexting message, and then ask him for the like go to the next step, okay. Keep upselling, okay. You sell one content and then you go and sell the other one right after, okay. Don't stop after selling one single piece of content, okay. This is a beginner mistake. Most beginners fail because they try too hard to sell, okay. It's that simple. They try too hard to sell, okay. Yes, you need to build like you need to like build relationship, okay, have a good conversation with the fan, but don't just try to sell directly, otherwise it's just not going to work, okay. If you do that, you're going to scare the fan away with high prices and just too pushy conversation. You're just going to lose a subscriber. It's hard to bring good quality subscriber to your account, so when they are here, you want to make the most out of each subscriber, making them spend and spend over and over and over again, okay, while having obviously a good experience. They cannot spend if they don't like the content, okay. And remember that they can even refund the content, so trust me, you want them to have a good experience, okay. You want repeated customer, okay. Think like a sexting session between you and your girlfriend. It's a big mix between casual conversation, teasing, and straight up like sexting, exchanging nudes, etc. Okay, this method works 10 times better than randomly like improvised chatting. Trust me, okay. I've tried everything over the past 4 years, okay. And why? Because it makes the fan feel like he's part of something more like personal, okay. He have an emotional connection, okay. he's not just buying content, he's like having a good time. You see what I mean? So that's how you upsell. With this in mind, this is how you upsell without seeming too pushy. So this module is about handling sales objection the most natural way possible. Okay, you are going to have sales objection almost every single conversation. Okay, so this is very important for you to listen carefully. Okay, objection, they are not rejection. Okay, it's buying signals. Okay, you have to think of it that way because it can be very like like tiring to have to handle all sales objection. They are going to say that it's too expensive, they don't have the time, the content is not long enough or good enough, or they have cheaper somewhere else, or they are going to just ignore your PPV and keep talking about something else or leave the conversation, etc. You need to understand the situation you're in, okay? And then you are going to be able to overcome this sale objection, okay? And this is basically how you sell. In order to sell to someone, you need to solve, okay, to have a solution for every single objection that they have. Once you have that, okay, then they can buy. It's just like picking a lock, you know, you need to pick each lock, okay, each step of the lock in order to unlock it. It's the same with sales and selling to subscriber, okay? Most fans are going to basically say no by default, like more than 80% of them. It depends how well you tease them, etc. But most of the time, the moment you try to sell, they either don't answer or whatever. They just don't buy, okay? Knowing that a sales objection, they don't have to say no to be a sales objection. If they don't buy the content, it's a sales objection, okay? Your job is to reframe the conversation. This is important, okay? Not push like harder. Your goal is to analyze and fix the problem and like give a solution to his objection, okay? And not, for example, he doesn't buy your content, do not say just buy the content or yeah, it's cheap or whatever. It's not the right way, okay? So some common objection. The fan is going to say it's too expensive. Okay, what do you do if the fan says it's too expensive? You can justify the price. Why it is like expensive? Okay, like maybe compared to what? To the other girl, etc. Maybe you are different, or your content is higher quality, or maybe that for you it's really something crazy because usually you don't do any of this type of content and now you do it. Maybe doing the content costs you money, like filming, etc. Maybe like having a good body, like a a beautiful face. Maybe that costs a lot of money, etc., etc. Okay, you will negotiate as well with the subscriber. If it's, for example, you're selling a $29 content and they negotiate. They say it's too expensive. You can justify and you can negotiate a bit. Go to 24, 20, 25, $24, or if he negotiate again, 19. You see what I mean? So this is an objection and you give him a solution, okay? A guy can say, I'll buy later, okay? What do you do if the guy say, I will buy, but later? That's the classic one, okay? You don't want that. You can create urgency and say, yeah, but I'm in the mood now, later on, maybe I won't, or like, otherwise I'm going to be busy, or like anything that create urgency so that he can buy now, okay? You can even give a bit of a discount if he take it now, or like you say, yeah, but like I'm in the mood now, later on I'm not going to be, okay? That's like urgency. And that's also like FOMO, which is fear of missing, okay? Fear of missing out. And this can work quite well, okay? Then what else do we have? I already spent too much. This is a classic one as well. You can offer a discount. you can tease more. You can say that you're horny as well, etc., etc. There is plenty of stuff to do. And whenever a guy say that he doesn't have money or it's too expensive, etc., most of the time it's just bullshit. It's just a common sales objection. Okay? Most of the time, the best way to answer to a sale objection, okay, is to ask more questions. Okay? So basically, the problem is not the sales objection, it's not the objection in itself, okay? It's the lack of information that you have in order to solve it, okay? That's really important. For example, I could add it as well, a subscriber that just ignore your content that you sent or stop answering. You cannot solve the objection if you don't know why this is happening, okay? Was he just like, I don't know, talking with his like mother, or was he like taking his dog for a walk? Was he like sleeping? Okay, maybe he didn't see your content. Okay, it's quite unlikely, but maybe he's too shy to say it, but he doesn't have enough money. And if it's not enough money, you're going to negotiate the content. Maybe if you ask the question and he answer you, maybe you sent a content, but he was not teased enough and he feels like it's a bit rushed. You see what I mean? Maybe you sent a content and you didn't describe it properly, and he was like, I didn't really understand, you sent something but I wasn't sure. But in order to have these information, you need to ask what happened, etc., etc. When they answer you, that's when you can then go with another, like with a solution, okay? And if they don't even answer you, which is very hard, if they don't answer you, you can't solve the objection, okay? You need to try to get their attention. And you can try to get their attention so that they answer you by obviously following up, messaging them again, and play with emotions, say that you're sad, etc., so that you get them to answer you. That's very important. And this is how you're going to solve 90% of the objection, okay? And some, obviously, you cannot solve, okay? So I put you a little example. Subscribers say, yeah, it's too expensive. I don't know if it's worth it, maybe later. And you can say, yeah, I just made that for you. You know, I saw that you wanted it. Is it really the price? Or I'm not too good enough for you, whatever. You see, you try to negotiate. And if you can add a bit of emotion into that, it's pretty good, okay? Remember, do not argue with a customer, because I never had a customer like buy because I argued with him and told him to buy the content, okay? And use like, yes, like soft language. Try to not argue with the fan. This is very important. Do not argue with the fan, all right? Always you can validate and then pivot the conversation. I get it, but, and then you give him your argument, okay? That's very important. Now, let me tell you a secret. When a fan gives an objection, it doesn't mean that he doesn't want the content, really, okay? It just means that he have doubts, he have objection that you need to solve. If he doesn't buy, it doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't want it. Very important to understand, okay? How do you do that? You ask to know the real reason, okay? This is very important. And then you will answer accordingly, but don't look too desperate, okay? Because you're trying to lead the conversation like you're the king, like you're the queen, okay? And you don't want to be begging for money or for their attention. It's just very bad. It's the same as with normal relationship with girl. If you give too much attention and they feel like you're like less of a guy, no, they will just stop answering. It's the same on OnlyFans, but you are the place of the girl because you are portraying the AI model, okay? You can, yes, negotiate price, but do not go from like $100 to $20, okay? it's too much of a discount. You need to go and negotiate small discount, like from 39 to 34, from 34 to 29, etc., etc. Okay? And remember, you're not selling just a content like, it's not too much like transactional. It's something like personal that you share with the guy. He must feel like it's a real good experience, and that you are doing this with him, for him, etc., etc. Okay? Basically, objection, they are just tests. Okay? They are testing you. Okay? And if you pass them, it means that you are going to earn money. Okay? So your capacity on how much you're going to make is based a lot on how good you are at sales, which is how good you are at handling sales objection. Okay? So I hope this module helped you. But to be honest, with that, you should be pretty good to go. Alright, so in this module we are going to talk about the buying habits, okay, which is basically recurring subscriber and recurring buyers. This is really something that you want because it costs the same amount of money to bring each fan, okay. If we invested like $500 in the marketing in 1 month, if you bring 500 subscriber, it means that each subscriber costs you $1 to bring to the account, okay? And then it's your job to make the most out of each subscriber in order to be profitable, okay? So the best fan is the one who pays again and again, okay? Obviously, selling once is easy, but getting the fan to buy again and again and again, this is where the real profit begins, okay? You get repeated buyer by giving them good experience, okay? Why would you go to a clothing store or buying from a clothing brand that again and again? It's because you like the clothes, you like the experience, okay? You like the value that it gave you, okay? Otherwise, you wouldn't go back, and they would spend way too much money trying to advertise for you to come just once, okay? The good thing is when you have repeated buyers, they give you a lot of money. This money you can reinvest it again in the marketing, do more traffic, etc. So that's very nice, okay? After every single sale, you need to follow up with like, did you like it? I hope we can do that again soon. Or like, are you ready for another round? All this type of stuff to try to make them come back, okay? Obviously, this is useless if the experience and the content that you gave him was bad, okay? But that's some tips, some quick phrases that you can use, okay? Keep the fan on an emotional loop, okay? And we are always doing the same thing. Tease, sell, like you build relationship, you tease, you sell, and you tease again, and you sell again, etc. It's always the same stuff over and over, okay? I show you like a graph, okay, on the right, which is fan number A, the blue one, the repeated buyer, and the fan number B, fan B, one-time buyer. You can see that the fan B, even if you sell like day one $50 and day two $150, which is $200 in total, okay, you will say high and fast, but you will burn out the sub. Okay, you will burn him out, he will leave the account, he's not happy about his experience, he's not happy about the value that you gave him for the money that he gave you, okay? And you see the fan A, day one, you just build relationship, you didn't even sell anything. Day two, you sell just one content for like $25. Then day three, you're going to sell for $75. Then day four, you sell one content for $150, okay? That's just an example, but you see that in the end, after a week, okay, or after a month, for example, the fan A spent like $400 and the fan B only spent $200. And this is not really based on the customer, this is not based on the subscriber, okay? It's more based about how you handle it, okay? Make them feel like you're thinking about them daily. This is very important. So you chat with them every single day, even the day where they don't spend, for at least a few messages, okay? Never stop at one pay-per-view once they buy one content. Obviously, you want to sell another one right after, okay? Every sale should open the door to the next sale, okay? The more they buy, the easier it is to make them buy again, okay? It's not the opposite. So it's always going to be the same thing, and I'm going to repeat it again and again, okay? Build relationship, tease, sell, then you follow up so that you make sure that they really like buy what you're trying to sell them. You tease again, sell again, etc., etc., okay? If you only focus on getting the first sale, you are missing like 80% of your income, okay? So you really don't want to do that, okay? The best fan are around the one-time buyer that come to your account one time, buy for like $150 and leave for eternity. Okay, that's not what you want. Okay, it's the one that buy a little. I mean, obviously there is some that buy a lot every week, but this is a whale and they are very rare. Okay, it's what you want is the subscriber that come, spend like $19, then 35, they leave, they come back 5 days after, they do it again, they come back 2 weeks after, they do it again, because you only spent $1, okay, and to acquire this customer, and after like a month and a half, they spent like, I don't know, $600 or $700, okay, which is a 700 times X return on investment, okay? You paid $1 to get them, and they gave you $700. So you have, yes, you need to like pay the chatter or pay the chatting agency or whatever, but then after maybe you have $600 to reinvest into marketing, okay? And that's how it works. That's why you need to build a system, okay? After every PPV sold, you need to follow up, tease again, and start again, okay? You are trying to create a habit, a good habit with the customer where you are going to both have a good experience, okay? Once the fan is used to buying from you, okay, it's way easier for them to buy again because they know that your content is worth it, they know that they like it, they know you chat well, you give them a good experience, etc., etc., okay? And they won't even question it anymore. This is how they will interact with your model, okay? So that's the goal, not just to sell, but to make them have a good experience and buy again and again. So I'm going to explain how to understand your subscriber to basically give him a better experience, okay? Sorry. So the first one is the mature guy, okay? The second one, as an example, is like the middleman, the middle-aged guy, okay? And the last one is the student, for example, okay? So the mature guy, and everything that I'm going to explain is for you to understand that you are not going to chat the same, okay, compared to who you have in front of you, okay, and you're not going to price your content the same as well because they don't really earn the same, okay, most of the time. So that's really important to keep in mind. And how you are going to know who you have in front of you, you are going to ask questions, okay, but not like an interview, okay, you're going to ask questions during the conversation naturally, okay, and then add those information into the subscriber notes, okay? So the first one is the mature guy. For example, age 45, he's an engineer, okay, so he's like earning quite a good money, like $120,000 per year, okay? He lives in Texas, Ohio. He's a family man, he's married, he have like 2 kids. He likes sweet young girl who listen, okay, and sex habits. He likes to chat late night, okay, kind of like the secret affair vibe. He have a wife, okay, but he likes to have some fantasies and he doesn't want to just watch porn online. It doesn't fit him. So you're going to talk to him differently than another one, okay, which is, for example, the middle-aged man, okay, age like 35, for example, okay, job, he's into crypto, real estate, he's a business owner, okay, he earns a lot, okay, 150k to like 300k per year, okay, so you have a lot of money. He live in Miami, he's single, he live alone, so you have plenty of money to spend, okay. He like classy women and sex habit. He doesn't like straight up porn. He prefer like to have the girlfriend experience and not directly porn, okay. He likes to buy pictures, teasing videos. He even buy voice messages, etc. That's for you to really understand the types of fun, okay. Then we have the other one, the student, okay. Age, he's like 20 years old, student, he goes to the gym, work part-time jobs. He only earn like 15 to 30k per year, okay. Location, he lives in Vegas, and he lives with his roommates, okay, or at his parents' house, okay, in the weekends, for example. He likes really hot and like beautiful Instagram girls, for example, and he likes fast sexting, okay, and like instant adult content, okay. He likes to just go buy content, masturbate, and get out, okay. And he spent, I don't know, $40 or $30 each time. You see that they are completely different, and obviously you need to chat with them completely differently each time you log back to chat to them any day they are here on your account, okay. So if you do not know who you are talking to, you can't really properly sell to them, okay. Because why? Because not all fans are the same, so obviously you're not going to chat the same. But they all want the same thing, okay. They kind of all want to feel like they are chatting with their girlfriend, okay. Unless, yes, there is exception, some they won't go buy a masturbation video, leave, okay. But most of the time they want the girlfriend experience, trust me. Take as much notes as possible from all your subs, even time waster, so that you can know more about them, okay. Subscriber type, you can have a time waster, which is a guy that is here to basically kind of waste your time. He chat a lot, he can be angry, asking a lot of questions, etc., criticizing all the time and never buying and sending tons of messages. So you don't want to spend too much time on it, okay, on him, because you have other subscribers, okay. The other one is the repeated buyer. He spend around like $300 per month. Maybe he log one time, like 2 times in a month, and spend 150, or he spend like $70 each week. It depends, okay. And the whale, it's a subscriber that spend a lot, okay, for a long time, okay. A subscriber that just go and spend and never come back is not really a whale, okay. The whale is someone that will spend more than $1,000 per month, okay. So if you have him for like 5 months and he spent $700, it's not a whale, it's just a repeated buyer. If it's a guy, you have him for 2 months and he spent 3.5k, then yes, it's a whale, okay. So know who you are talking to based on what information you gathered about him. You can't like imagine what the guy is like, etc. Okay, that's very important. Your job is to adapt to the chatting style based on which type of subscriber he is, okay, as I told you earlier. Do not push high prices to low spender. You will see how much the guy spent for the previous content. If he never bought something for more than $20 or $30, it's useless to try to sell like a masturbation video for like $100 because you're just going to waste time, okay, and scare him away. Don't rush the sales with the whales, okay. You need to spend more time building more relationship, and don't worry, they will ask you for content when they want it, okay. You can still push some sales, but don't push too much with the whale. You don't want to burn them out, okay. The more you understand their pain and desire, the easier it is to sell to them, okay. The more you know them, the better you can sell to them, okay. So let me break it down. You can't really talk the same to a 19 years old broke student to a 40 years old man going through a divorce. Okay, it's completely different. Okay, and you can't talk the same to a broke student than to a guy that have his own company. He's 30 years old and he earns like $50,000 per month. You don't talk to them the same, and you don't invest the same amount of time on both equally. Okay, they are in different worlds. Okay, so they are completely different. Okay, even though they all want kind of the same thing, which is the girlfriend experience. Okay, and your job is going to be to adapt to each subscriber. That's how you make the most money out of them. If you want to learn, if you learn how to feel who's behind the screen, you kind of become unstoppable, because you know exactly how to talk to them. Okay, and you're going to do a good chatting and giving them a good chatting experience to each and every single subscriber. Okay, some fans, they want attention, other they want fast sex only, and other just want to like build a real relationship with you, like a long-term one. Okay, and some, they will even tell you, I want to build a long-term relation with you, I will pay for content, but I want to really have like an online girlfriend. Okay, so this module is about learning how to identify your sub, okay, and use those information to better chat with them. Okay, because obviously the more you understand them, the more they are going to spend. So in this module, I'm going to explain what is the chatter role, okay, and what is your role, okay, which is to act like the model, like portray her, and make sure to control the conversation in order to keep your subscriber happy and give them a good experience. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of a bad chatter and a good chatter. Obviously, at first you don't know, you need to learn how to chat first, but I'm just giving you some tips. Okay, basically a bad chatter reply without thinking. Okay, they will take a long time to answer, like 5 minutes to answer. Just try to like be nice with, but don't have like a clear goal. Okay, and basically say yes to everything. They won't have a proper pricing structure, a proper like method to actually run the conversation properly. Okay, and a good chatter, he will build emotional connection. Okay, he will answer fast, lead the conversation towards a clear goal with a clear method to go about it. Okay, handle objection with finesse, and never make mistake about talking about meetups, doesn't give free content for nothing, they don't give discount for no reason. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, remember that the chatter is not here just to answer messages. Okay, if you just look at the chatter and he answer messages, it's not necessarily good. Okay, he is the sales engine of the page. This is very, very important. Okay, your chatter is going to be the person, or if you chat yourself at first, you are going to be the person generating all the money. Okay, so it's a pretty important role, and you need to understand that. Okay, you must control the pace, the duration, and the tone of the conversation. Okay, you're building a relation, like an online virtual relationship. Okay, and you need to have an emotional connection. Okay, and obviously a sexual one, otherwise they wouldn't be on a adult platform. Okay, never forget that this is a role play, so you need to portray the model and stick to the branding of the model and be consistent with it. Okay, so the 3 duties of a chatter is to make the fan feel special, to make him stay on the account. Okay, guide him to spend, but without feeling too pushed. Okay, you want them to spend, have a good experience, so that they actually stay on your account spending every day. Okay, protect the model branding from anything too risky, obviously, so do not promise like meetups, etc., all this stuff that are completely forbidden, because obviously you do not want to lose your account. Okay, this is very important. No content with body fluid, etc., etc. So the role of a chatter is way more than just answering DMs. Okay, it's way more than that. Okay, you're like the puppet master. Okay, there is the model. Okay, and it's you that portray the model and make her do basically what you want her to do, because it's an AI model. Okay, so you decide what the fan see, what he hears, and what he's going to feel. Okay, if you just answer normally, like the fan won't be that interested. Okay, he will lose interest and leave your account if you're just like giving him like a just casual experience. Okay, do not promise a meetup. Okay, because this is absolutely forbidden. Okay, do not talk about like refunds. It's really bad. Do not mention, okay, the dollar. Like you can say, yeah, I can give you this for 50, but don't say like $50 or this type of stuff. It's not really not really good. Okay, do not offer too much free content. Okay, unless it's a teasing, and do not negotiate too much. Okay, do not spend too much time on time wasters, because there is plenty of people that say, yeah, but maybe they're going to spend. Okay, most of the time when a time waster doesn't spend, unless you really have only them as subscriber, you have way more leverage to go and chat with another subscriber that is already willing to spend. Okay, obviously you do not want to break character. You want to keep the branding and the image of your model. Okay, even if they say that yeah it's not the model or whatever, you always say yes, of course it's the model chatting. Okay, and do not let the subscriber control the conversation too much, otherwise you're just trying to following up with what he say, and you're not directing the conversation towards your goal, which is build relationship and sell. Okay, you are the one pulling the strings of the model. Remember that through chatting. So in this module, I'm going to introduce you why the chatting will make most of your revenue. Okay, things that you need to understand is that chatting will bring, okay, the attention, will bring the traffic, okay, to your FanView account. Okay, but the money will be actually made from the chatting. Right, this is very important to understand. Okay. So as you can see here, I have a model like posting on the feed. Okay, as you see, like an IG feed. She'll get views, she will get likes, etc. But this will generate absolutely $0. Okay, that's important. When you are in the chat, okay, you chat with the subscriber, etc. You build relationship and you start selling content. This is where you are going to make money. So views on socials, likes, etc. won't really make money. It will all happen in the chats. Okay, that's very important. People that will subscribe, okay, maybe it will generate 10% of your revenue. Okay, when chatting will generate like 90%. So obviously, what do you want to do? To focus on chatting and having like very how do you say, cheap a cheap subscription price most of the time, so that you can then focus on actually chatting, right? This is very important. So here, as you can see, most creators, they think that views on social equal income, but it comes from chatting. All real sales happen on FanView through messages by selling content like PPVs, not from subscription. Okay, subscription, it's passive revenue. Okay, it's a good plus. Okay, knowing that when you pay your chatter, most of the time you don't pay them a part of the subscription, so it can be good to have some money like 10-15% that come from recurring subscription, because that's very good. But most of the money will come from the message anyway. Okay, and the chatting is very scalable. Just earning money from subscription isn't really scalable. Okay, if you have bad chatting, you are going to do not a lot of money. Okay, it's that simple. Even if your marketing is good, and it's already hard to do good marketing. Okay, so even if you bring a lot of traffic, if your chatting is shit, you're going to not do a lot of money. Okay, once you systemize chatting with script, upsell, rules, etc., you will have a more consistent stream of revenue. Okay, so let's be clear: views alone doesn't make you money; it brings just attention. Okay. If you ignore this, you are missing out on way too much money. I can't make that more clear, right? Alright, so in this module, I'm going to explain you how the revenue is shared between subscriber, tips, chatting revenue, and the mistake you shouldn't make. Okay, basically, as I said before, posting on social media gets the traffic, okay, to your FindView account if you do it right, and the sales will be made in chatting. As you can see here, with a subscription and some tips, you can make like $4 with the subscription, because most of the time your subscription price will be $3.99 dollar per month, or even free. Okay, and sometimes people, they will give a tip on your content that you posted on your feed, but this is negligible money, and it's very rare. You see what I mean? When the chatting, they can just buy one content for $50, like $50 or like $100, etc., etc. Okay. So problem is, most agency owner, they waste their traffic because they don't know how to sell on FindView. If you have traffic, you don't know how to sell, you're not going to make money. Okay. 90% plus of all the revenue come from pay-per-view content, not tips, not subs, etc. Pay-per-view content. Okay. And they pay, the fans, they pay for your attention, not just for your content. Otherwise, they could just buy content on your feed or whatever. But by making it seem like you were selling it live, recording the content live, giving him attention, etc., that's why they buy. Okay, they buy with their emotion. Okay. If you have bad chatting or you delegate chatting to a random agency or like to untrained chatter, you are going to burn your subscriber and destroy all the work that you did to bring traffic. Okay, a skilled chatter make 5 times more money per fan than someone just replying without training. Okay, a good chatter versus a bad chatter can be 5x difference. Okay, most agency, how they manage to scale, yes, they have stable traffic, which is the basics you need to have. But most of the time it's because they have good chatting. Okay. So let me be brutally honest. If you are not monetizing the chatting properly, you're just, it's not like you're not really going to make good money, that you're not even going to be profitable. Okay. Chatting is very, very, very important. Okay. Um, the subscriber come because they are like horny about the model on social media, or they think that your model is beautiful, etc. They are excited, but they will stay because you build a relationship, an emotional connection. Okay, and the emotional connection comes directly in the chats. Okay, it's that simple. If you get 100 free subs, for example, or pet subs, whatever, but you don't answer to them, or you don't answer to them properly, you are just wasting your time. You are wasting traffic. Okay, so chatting is not optional. It's your cash printing machine. Okay, very important. And once you structure all of your chatting, etc., like a real system, okay, using the scripts, etc., then you can really scale and make money. Okay. So this module is about the chatting blueprint, which is basically the golden rule, okay, the golden blueprint that you need to follow in order to make sales. Okay, if you need to remember one thing about chatting, it will be this one. Okay, So, quick overview of the key strategic steps, okay, where you're going to do that every single conversation, okay, almost. Step one, you will build relationship, which means knowing more about your subscriber, sharing about your life, etc. Just like when you are meeting a new girl, okay, it's the same stuff, okay. Step two, teasing, because we are here to basically send adult content, okay, that's very important. So obviously you are going to want to tease, okay, the guy to make sure that they want the content you're about to sell, okay. Step three, you're selling a script. You're selling pre-recorded content, okay, and you're selling it as if you were doing it live, and it can be images, videos, voice, etc., etc. Okay. So step one, the casual conversation, which is basically building relationship. Okay. So, and this is highly important if you want to keep your subscriber in the long term. Okay. So the main objective is to establish an authentic and trusting connection with our subscriber. Okay. The approach, this initial step aims to engage our subscriber in a natural conversation. You don't want to over control or just use copy pasted phrases. Okay, yes, you need to learn more about the subs, ask him like question about his job, you know what he's doing, etc. But you also need to understand that you absolutely need to make it looks as natural as possible. So you have a blueprint. Okay, I'm giving you a blueprint, but then obviously you need to change it based on the conversation. The purpose of the building relationship to understand their needs, interest, and motivation, and this will help you a lot later to sell and to keep them subscribed to your account so they can chat with you. The expected outcome, know more about your subscriber, enabling future communication personalization. So basically, knowing more about him and keeping him on the account. Okay, that's very important. So basically, the goal is to have like a solid foundation, for all the next weeks or like months. He's going to be subscribed to your account. Okay. Now, I show you more in detail what the casual conversation and the building relationship is about, okay? So I'm giving you some guidelines and then we will go through the flow of the conversation, okay? Important rule, self-flexibility. If there is a subscriber that asks for content in the middle of the conversation, obviously, you stop building the relation, you stop teasing, etc., and you just sell them the content, okay? Even if it's random content, not following a script, okay? That's very important. Your goal in this step, which is to build a relationship, is to basically if possible, make the sub fall in love with the model, okay? That's the best thing you can get while trying to build a relationship, okay? So obviously, if you don't care about the sub, you don't remember what his job is or even what his name is, he's not going to fall in love with you. It's pretty obvious, okay? So when you start a conversation, there is always the automatic welcome message, and obviously you should set it up, okay? The best one most of the time is to just have a simple one, okay? Engaging but simple one that looks natural, okay? Like, hey there, how are you? It's very simple, okay? And you can add a picture of your model because this increases the conversion, okay? Or you can not add a picture, okay? Or you can add a voice, okay? A voice recording saying that, but as a recording, like, hey, how are you, etc. It really depends. For me, what's working the best, hey there, how are you, with a picture, okay? But once again, you can change. You can do this plus add a voice or whatever, okay? Then, what's your name, where you're from? This is pretty basic questions, okay? But once again, if you don't even know the name of your subscriber and you don't know even where he is in the world, Is he living like in Africa? Is he living like what, in France or in the US or in the UK or in Spain? You need to know, and you will add those information to your customer notes, okay, on the right side of your screen on FanView. There is an AI that takes notes of your customer, obviously, but it's not 100% complete. So you need to manually type those information. If you ask but you don't type it, you don't save it, it's useless to ask, okay? And you want to remember it for later, okay? Because you will have a lot of different subscribers. What do you do for a living? This is very good. Or what do you do in life? Whatever, you can say it any way you want, okay? But obviously you need to ask because it will tell you how much money he have, okay? That's very important to ask, okay? And obviously you add this information in the customer notes. Next step, okay? What we are going to do is basically you can have a written script, okay, that have all the phrases that are repetitive, okay, that you can copy paste, like how old are you, what's your hobbies, what turn you on the most about me, what's the wildest thing you've done in your sex life, what are you doing right now. These are all phrases that I tested and that works very well. It's very engaging. They love sharing stuff like this, okay? And then with the next step, once you go over all of these like casual conversation, building relationship, then we can go into the teasing step, but we are not here yet, okay? Like what do you do for a living, etc. If they do not answer, obviously you send a follow-up message, okay? Yes, it can seem a bit pushy. Yes, it can seem a little bit desperate, okay, to like try to, hey, what are you doing, or like why you're not answering or whatever. But at the same time, you're going to lose way too many subscribers if you do not try to send a follow-up message. Like, come on, don't be shy, don't leave me on read, what's happening, etc., etc. Okay? Obviously, all of what I'm saying here is about the new subscriber, okay? All the steps, etc. But if you have an old subscriber, okay, you can still follow kind of the same path, okay? Like, ask him a few questions, ask about his day, and chat for like at least 5 messages before trying to tease and to sell. Remember, if they're talking to you on FanView or whatever, it's because they kind of want a personal connection with you and they also want adult content, okay? So yes, you build relationship, but don't lose the main objective. It's your objective, and trust me, it's their objective to see like adult content, okay? I even gave you like an example of a good fan notes. I hope you can read that it's big enough, but otherwise you can just zoom in, okay? For example, the guy is in San Francisco. He's 64, retired. He loves fishing, okay? He loves the model boobs and the smile. He didn't have sex for 10 years, etc. He earned this much, okay? Here, you know who you are talking to, and you will be able to adapt the tone of the conversation, the price, and everything, okay? This first step is crucial. It's highly important, okay? How much your fan, how much your subscriber will spend over his lifetime on your FanView account, okay? It depends a lot on your ability to apply this step well while making it seems natural, okay? So now let's go to step 2, teasing and start of the actual script, okay? So first one will be teasing. Once again, you know more about the subscriber, okay? He knows more about you. Now where do we go? What's our objective? Our objective is to sell, okay? You can't just sell adult content like that. So you need to make sure to tease, to make him actually want the content you're about to sell. So, but you do not want to directly sell content, okay? And you also want to make it seem as natural as possible. So what are you going to do? You're going to send a picture, okay? With a teasing in a beautiful dress or whatever, okay? But you want to make it feels like it's natural, okay? And to start the script. Once again, video script, image script, are always in a specific situation, okay, to make it feels natural. So you are going to say, for example, just not going to say, hey, here's my dress, or just send a picture like this. Based on the previous conversation and previous messages, you can say, hey, you can ask, what are you doing right now, for example, okay? You will say, hey, I'm doing this, and he will ask you, and you, what are you doing? And you can just say, I'm in my bedroom trying new dress, for example, and you will sell the living room script, okay? Oh, I'm watching Netflix, and you have a picture of Netflix and the model with, you know, a dress, you know, in the back or whatever. Or yeah, I'm just trying new outfit that I just bought, etc. Boom, it feels natural, and you also tease him, okay? Or you can ask for confirmation, even for teasing. For example, oh, I'm trying this, okay, new dress. I bought 2 dress. I'm not sure which one I'm going to wear today. Can you help me decide? Okay, and then he will say, yeah, sure, send it. So you change the situation. Basically, now it's him that asks you to show him. So then it looks natural, okay? So you say, yeah, 1 second, I'm going to take a pic. 30 seconds later, you send the picture. Even though it can seem weird, because if you try to wear 2 dresses and take 2 pictures, it can actually not take 30 seconds, but they are just too ignorant to even know that it takes more than 30 seconds to try 2 dresses and take pictures. So don't worry, you can send the 2 pictures afterwards, okay? And then what we are going to do, he's going to say, oh, I like this one, and then you can ask, yeah, I can show you more, etc. Okay. So obviously you need to make sure that the client is horny before starting step 2 or 3. Okay. I mean, here it's written, send me a dick pic, but this might be a little bit too much. But you can say, do you like it? How does it, like, I don't know, affect you? Or like, you know, is it doing something to you or whatever? This is pretty good stuff. Or you can just ask, do you want to see more of it? It can be very good as well, okay? Instead of send me a dick pic, but it depends. It can work well as well, okay? Yeah, just change, do you want to see more, which is pretty a pretty good one, okay? Then step 3, you are in the part, okay, of the upselling of the script, okay? So you build relationship, you tease the guy, he's ready to buy, you already gave him like a free content. Now it's time to sell the first content, okay? And most of the time you're going to sell a teasing topless, because you need to do it step by step. So you're going to describe the video, okay? Or the image, if it's an image that you're going to sell, because obviously if they don't unlock it, if they don't pay, they don't see it. So you can say stuff like, yeah, I tried the dress, for example. We keep this example, but I don't know, like one of my boob slips. I hope you don't hate it, etc. Or tell me what you think, and boom, you send the video, okay? Then he buys it. Then you are going to do sexting for 2-3 message, like, yeah, like what do you think? I love being like complimented or whatever, and boom boom boom, you do 2-3 sexting message in between the next step. Otherwise it feels again not natural, okay? The guy is not a cash machine, okay? It's a subscriber. He needs to have a good experience if you want him to keep buying the script and keep coming back for more the next days, okay? Then you can sell the next content. Soft masturbation. Once again, you describe the video, okay? And this is a content for 49, so you already sold for 29, then it's 49, okay? Maybe the guy will negotiate a bit, oh, but it's a bit too much, etc. You can say, okay, just for you, because you liked it, I can do like 44, or I can do 39, for example, okay? Then, what you are going to do is to do 2-3 sexting messages, okay? And by the way, it's written, use the script welcome to send the message. Why is that? Because when it's a new, because here we're in the case of a new subscriber, okay? Basically, you have a script, it's 7 steps most of the time, okay? The welcome image, okay, of the script must be the first part of this welcome script, meaning that when you tease a guy with the first step of the script, okay, the first image, you make sure that you continue the script, okay, that you sell based on the first picture that you sent, okay? And in the vault, it should be named the welcome script, okay? So once again, the conversation feels natural, okay, and not pre-recorded. And then it's basically the steps that we did for all the part of the script, okay, for each step, okay? You sell, 2-3 sexting message, you can tease again with a free content, okay? That's what you can do between each part, okay? You do sexting messages, okay? So you keep talking about sex, whatever, you can trash talk, it depends on the guy that you have in front of you. Then you sell the next content and you increase the price, 79. Then if he negotiates, no problem, 69, okay? 2-3 sexting message. And then, boom, we go step like port 5, sexting message. Port 6, sexting message. And then port 7, okay? So as you can see here, we're increasing the price using a price ladder, okay? Once you finish the script, what can you do when you finish the script, okay? You can just go and ask if he wants to go for another round or if he wants to see other contents, okay? Some guys, when they are hot, even when finishing the script, they can buy even more masturbation video, and that's how you can sell like $400, $600, or even $1,000 to one guy in one session, okay? And even if it's finished and he doesn't want to buy more content, you keep chatting with him for at least like 20 minutes, okay? Otherwise, it feels like you just milk the guy and leave once he has spent all of his money, okay? So now, a few selling principles. You always have to try to sell more to the client, okay? More to what he feels like buying. You need to sell more. That's the job. That's your job, okay? Keep in mind that you always want to sell multiple videos to the customer. Once again, you want to sell more. It's not because he bought like one video that you're happy and you're not going to try to sell more. It's the same as selling a script. If he bought a script, you want to sell him more, even more than that, okay? You have to lead the conversation to make him pay first for video, okay, like soft video, and then you increase the like hotness, okay, how hot the video, how hard the video are. Each video you sell, okay. You never stop selling, like you never stop a conversation without at least having tried to sell another content, okay. Most of the time it won't work, but when sometime it works, it's just free more money for you, okay. That's very important. Always try to sell all videos of the script, okay, from start to end. Do not skip step. Unless the guy explicitly tells you, I want like a masturbation video, then you skip from step 1 to step 4 directly, okay? But do not skip steps, okay? Do not increase the price too much. That's very important. And I will give you like a, just right after that, you will be able to see the price. But it's very important that you follow the pricing. But this is a basic pricing. Then you need to adapt it, okay? That's very important. You adapt to the subscriber. If it's a whale and he's used to buy each piece of content for $80, you're not going to price anything below $80. That's like, it wouldn't make sense to do it to do it otherwise, okay? To do it another way. So, talking about the pricing, I'm going to show you the 7 steps of the money ladder, okay? You need to understand that you do not need 100 paying fans, okay? You just need 5 or 10 that go very deep into your script, okay? Into your content ladder, okay? That's what we use, a step-by-step system, okay, a step-by-step blueprint, okay. We don't do random chatting. As you can see, there is a real structure, okay. So let's look at the price quickly. First one is free, okay, teasing. Second one, $19. The third one, $39. The fourth one, $69. The number 5, step 5, $79. Step 6, $149. Step 7, $199. You see that we increase bit by bit. But in the end, can be like more than $400, okay? And the fans don't really feel it, okay? And it seems logical because the hotter the content is, the higher the price is, okay? So remember, the chat, it's always the same thing. You need to hook them because you need them to answer you and to actually chat in the conversation. Then you are going to build relationship if it's a new subscriber or even an old one, okay? Then you are going to send the free teasing picture, which is step number 1, okay? Then you are going to sell cheap content, step 2, because if the guy negotiates, you can even do $14 instead of 19. You can do $11. You can really negotiate, okay? The goal is to make him start buying and see that your content is high quality, okay? Remember to describe the content that you send, okay? That's very important because remember, they do not see the content, okay? Unless they buy it. And it's very hard to buy something that you don't even see. That's the tricky part. Make sure that you send messages between each step of the script, okay? Otherwise, he just seen that you're here just for his money, okay? Another thing, if they negotiate, okay, or like if there is a sales objection, you see, you need to solve this sale objection, okay? That's very important. You ask question, etc., etc. If he wants to negotiate, obviously, you will negotiate the price because you prefer to sell a content than to for half the price than to just not sell it. It wouldn't make sense, okay? And then you can just repeat this money ladder pricing, okay, and this blueprint with every single subscriber and with the same subscriber again and again, okay? Remember, you do not need to reinvent the wheel at all right?